Hey everyone, welcome to Cryptic Grunge. I'm your host, Willow Skylar. We've been around for 50 episodes so far. That's blowing my mind. So 2 years of doing this show, 50 episodes, and as always, it's going to be a train wreck. So I can't wait to get this show started. All right. So, unfortunately, I'm doing this show by myself tonight, but that's okay. We'll hopefully have Keisha back up and running and maybe a guest for next time. And don't mind what I'm wearing. Shoulders like to come off. Anyway, so tonight we're celebrating Ukrainian Christmas. So Merry Christmas to all the wonderful Slavics around the world. Yeah, this is going to be really fun. I can't wait to discuss with you guys all these fun Slavic monsters that I've researched. And with your help in the chat as well, I'm going to learn a lot tonight. Speaking of chat, let's say hello to our wonderful people. Hello, Carl Woodsman. Good to see you. Hello, Donna, Carly, Carlene. Don Dula. Don Dulas. I'm sorry, I can't read. Welcome to the show. Oh. Daniel McHelland. I'm sorry if I did butcher your name, but yes. I'm so glad that you are here for your first episode. Thank you, Carl. I appreciate the compliment. And everybody saying hi to each other. Thank you. Okay, so funny story. As you guys may know, I am Ukrainian or German Ukrainian. And I also do the odd pinup style look every so often. There's just one problem. I found out that there is a very fine line between looking like a Ukrainian baba and being a pinup model. Either way, I'm still going to look like a Ukrainian baba. So yeah, got the wonderful looks from my great-grandmother, who came from Ukraine in early 1900s, and her husband got married pretty much right after that they came to Canada. They settled in a wonderful town called Birds Hill, where they are buried to this day. We go visit their grave every so often. So yes, I am so lucky to have these actual pictures. Sorry, you can definitely, I'll get to that Christmas picture in a moment. As you can tell, I definitely have the resemblance of my great grandma. So the funny thing about these pictures is my uncle was having a sale on like some of the stuff that, or sorry, one of my cousins and family members were having a sale after one of my grandfather's brothers died. I guess that they would be my uncle. So they were selling some of his stuff from his estate. And I found these in an actual, they were selling these big chests, and I happened to take a look inside and found these pictures right on top of one of them. And my aunt actually let me keep them. I'm looking to get them restored I did try getting them restored at a local place, and I didn't like the way they came out. So I'm hoping I can find someone who does a better job at Photoshop so that I can get them properly restored. Oh, hey, got some other people here too. Eli T. Cash, hi, welcome to the show. I'm sorry, Chris, I don't want to butcher your name, so Veglio. Chris Walker, hello. Eli says Ukrainian Baba Booey, which is also it goes along the lines of Baba Yaga, which I will touch on in a moment. And everybody's saying hi to each other. Yeah, I wonder where Dan is. Dan's usually here early. He's usually the first one here. There he is. Dan Hollyfield, good evening. Yeah, he's like Beetlejuice. The moment that you say his name, he shows up. All right, so there is quite a few Ukrainian monsters or like Slavic monsters out there. Baba Yaga is the only one I will know anything about. Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, he's our Beetlejuicy. I love the shade of green. Thank you very much. Green is a great color. This shirt, however, does not want to stay up on my shoulders, so I apologize if I'm showing way too much cleavage, but you know, like that has ever been a complaint with the people in the chat. All right. So, Slavic monsters. You guys are here to learn about Slavic monsters. There's quite a few of them, actually. So I think this might have to be a two-parter at one. We'll have to definitely come back to the subject. Okay, so the first one on the list is Mavka. What does she look like? The most common image of Mavka is of a pleasant, well-dressed, and long-haired young woman with no skin on her back, so the inner organs are visible. They are often portrayed with flower wreaths and festive embroidery dresses. They have no shadows and child-sized footprints. Where does she live? Mavka lives in the mountains, mountain caves in Carpathians. In the forest all over Ukraine. They are souls of girls who died unnatural ways, of children who died without being baptized, or of children who died during Mermaids Week. That is an interesting subject. I definitely want to learn when Mermaids Week is. When, according to Slavic mythology, mermaids roam the earth the week after Trinity, which I'll have to do a bit of a Google search for that one. What does she do? They attract young men and lead them into the forest where the latter never comes back. Mavkas can also tickle their victims to death. That's kind of kinky, actually. Popular culture. They are written about in literature, most notably in the play Zova Pisnia, The Forest Song, by Lesia Ukrainka, and the novel, I apologize if I say these words wrong, Tini Zabutiak, Shadow of Forgotten Ancestors. What works against her? Garlic, onion, horseradish, and lavage can be used as protection against these creatures. That completely explains the obsession of garlic and horseradish in my family. um, yeah, that and potatoes. Potatoes. Okay, here's the thing. As a Ukrainian, I absolutely love my pierogies. But if you try to serve me pierogies with cottage cheese, no. That, to me, that's ruining pierogies. But I know that that is a very Russian Mennonite thing. I sorry. It has to have potatoes. Has to have cheese in it. Cottage cheese is a no for me. I'm sorry, guys. I'm reading the chat. Uh, uh, yeah, if Donna says right, you won't find us complaining about too much cleavage. The shirt is responding to Chris's psychic powers, says Dan. Carl Witzman says, "Ew, that skinless woman is creepy." Yes, she is. And I feel like I'm about to intrigue some of the writers in the group here too. Oh my gosh. Cernobog. I hope I'm saying that right. Cernobog is a Slavic deity associated with chaos and destruction. Often he is referred to as an ultimate evil among the pagan Russians. Around 1997, he was adapted in a Lovecraft-style FPS game called Blood as the main antagonist of the anti-hero Caleb. That's interesting. Thank you, Eli, for that tidbit. Oh, maybe it's easy to grow garlic and horseradish in the Carpathians. Maybe. Cottage cheese is disgusting. Yeah, it is. I feel like that's almost an insult to pierogies. Cottage cheese and pierogies. That's creepy as... Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Cottage cheese doesn't belong in pierogies as far as I'm concerned. And I'm glad that I'm getting a lot of this response from the chat tonight, because I feel like if I say something, I might, one of these days I might say something that might insult them. But this is a group that doesn't get insulted very easily, so I'm glad that everybody's agreeing with me right now. All right, so the next monster is, let's pop up the picture here. Okay, I could have sworn there you are. Chuhaister. He's known as the Forest Man. Chuhaister. See, this is where talking to my grandfather in English when he spoke Ukrainian did me a very big disservice, because I really need to learn. I need to go back and learn Ukrainian. What does he look like? He is usually depicted as a tall man with blue eyes and black or white hair instead of clothes. Sometimes his image is associated with strong wind that breaks trees. Where does he live? In the area of the Carpathian Mountains, especially in Halych-China. HalYChyna. Halych-China. Almost looks like Halych-China. One version says that the mythical creature and his name appeared when forest hermits from Moldovan, Bukovinian, monasteries came to live there in 17th and 18th centuries. Chagaister is a positive and cheerful character. He enjoys dancing and hunting mavkas, but he does not harm people. Sometimes he joins people who sit around the fire in forests. In popular culture, Shadows of Forgotten Ancestors, a novel and many legends tell about Chagaister. There are also modern songs devoted to the spirit. I feel like I know this word, and I feel like my family has said it a couple times. Yeah, I'm fairly certain my family has mentioned that, like said that word or called someone that. Don says, I can see how it would work, though, if you are one of those people that like cottage cheese in lasagna. See, that's another thing that I'm not a huge fan of. Cottage cheese and lasagna. I prefer hamburger. Ricotta cheese and lasagna, not cottage cheese. Thank you. Skinny Hagrid, yes. He actually does, yeah. Slavic Monsters, Cthulhu, and cottage cheese and cleavage. See, I definitely took on like the typical Ukrainian German form with my body here, guys. Short and and chubby. Ricotta is the best. Cottage cheese is okay if you find any, I suppose, or if you can't find any, I suppose. Yeah, I'm still not a fan of cottage cheese. But then again, I'm not a huge fan of horseradish either. Like, I don't know, something about horseradish is that I feel like that's the that stuff was uprooted from the depths of hell. All right, on to the next monster. Domovoy. What does he look like? Domovoy is usually represented as short, old gray-haired man with flashing eyes. Where does he live? He is usually thought to be an ancestor of the family who comes to live in the house after it has been built. What does he do? Domovic is the household spirit of given kin, which is why he protects the family, but only if they live in harmony and respect the spirit by leaving him food. That might be something that I may be attributed to. I'm very food motivated myself. He protects the home from different kinds of tragedies, thieves, fire, forces, and forces of nature, etc. The spirit is very caring for the kids and animals in the house and is always watching out for them, but he may cause harm or even leave the family if they are not friendly and quarrel with each other. Popular culture. It is common to have a Domovic, hay idol at home as a home guardian. He is popular. He is a popular children's cartoon, fairy tale, and story character. Interesting. Okay, so here's an interesting tidbit about what my household has. We have a little what is referred to as a broom witch. Apparently, it's supposed to be good luck as well, but like she looks like a little Baba. on a broom, she looks like a witch on a broom, but yeah, she looks very much like a German Baba. So apparently it's supposed to be good luck. So I honestly haven't really noticed. Mind you, I haven't given it up yet, so I don't know. I can't tell if it actually is working. Donna says horseradishes from the depths of hell. No wonder I like it. Domovic, I want one. He's like a cat then. Yeah, pretty much. Daniel says most interesting. Yeah, it says a Wookiee, little person. Got it. Eli T. Cash says, if you ever play Dungeons and Dragons, the bugbear is pretty much the Slavic answer to the goblin. Okay. Food is good. Wouldn't mind leaving him food, but don't want insects and cockroaches. Yeah, exactly. You want ants, that's how you get ants. Okay, what are we on now? Oh yeah, so Babai or Baba, an elderly person. From Pi. What do they look like? Babai doesn't have a clear physical form, but he usually is shown as a man with ragged clothes, long claws, and a big bag on his shoulders. So pretty much like what we depict as being a tramp, or like an early homeless guy. He might live anywhere although he often hides under beds, in wardrobes, or in empty rooms of a house. Huh. I'm just thinking he might be in my costume room right now. It's a night spirit that visits naughty children who don't want to go to sleep on time. The stories say he puts such kids into his bag and takes them in an unknown destination. Okay, so he's Krampus in human form. Parents often threaten their children with bye-bye if they misbehaved. Okay. What works against them? Children should go to sleep on time and not go to dangerous places at night if they don't want to meet bye-bye. And, this is pretty much where the whole myth of the Baba Yaga comes into play. And yeah, bye-bye is similar to the well-known boogeyman and other monsters who visit children with the same purpose. Yeah. Up next is the Vidma Witch. And I have a really nice picture. I like this picture. Vidma Witch. What does she look like? A female witch can be identified by her ugliness, humpback, lameness, or by her extraordinary beauty, or an unusual trait such as red hair or being left-handed. Donna, you may be in trouble with this one. Vidma can live anywhere among ordinary people. They prefer rural areas over cities. What does she do? Vidma practices witchcraft and can control the weather, romantic feelings, and help or harm other people. Her magic skills can be inherited or gained through an agreement with evil spirits. Inherited witches were always more powerful. She can travel with a broom, antler, or poker. In popular culture, Vidma is a very popular character in folklore, fairy tales, and cartoons and movies. One of the best known is Mykola Pohl's collection of stories, Evenings on a Farm near Dikanka, in which the author tells mystical stories set in central Ukraine or Poltava. What works against her? It's recommended to make lines of poppy seeds or chalk near entrances and stick nettles, aspen, maple, and birch leaves in the doorways to protect your family from the magic of evil Vedmas. Okay. Poppy seeds, chalk, aspen, nettles, and maple, and birch leaves. I'll have to remember that. The other monster was a cross between an Ewok and a lemur. He's cute, and he is God when the people are good. He's cute, and he is good when people are good, and yes, definitely won't. Yeah. Oh yeah, and the other monster was the hobo. Yeah. Parenting by terror. See, but we've been doing that for centuries, though. Like even in today's world, we're still trying to keep kids safe by telling them of dangerous people. But unfortunately, a lot of the monsters that we have are real. Yeah. Donna says, yeah, I can relate to that. Being left-handed, oh, I'm safe. See, Kay, Aubrey, I'm not trying to put you down or anything. And like, I have a sister who is redhead. Like, okay, I'm technically not a real redhead. I just dye my hair because I feel like it's better than being hot in the summertime with my dark brown hair. But I have my oldest sister. She's a redhead. She is left-handed, and as myth goes, redhead or like left-handed people are often the intelligent one. Sometimes not. She's pretty in the photo. I love that picture. I am gonna have to try to track down the artist to that picture, and I'm sorry I did not catch when I found it. I didn't catch who made that picture, but yes, I love that picture. Maple would definitely keep me away. Not really me. Like I love maple syrup. So then again, I am Canadian. Oh, Johnny. I'm tuning in while driving home. Hi, Johnny. Hope you're safe. And thank you very much for the compliment, Johnny. I appreciate you, and I hope you had a good time at Dave Mattingly got married, everyone. So my condolences. I mean, congratulations. Make sure you say their name for our listing of audience who can't see the comments. Yes. Okay. I'm so sorry. I'm trying. Everybody's saying hi to Aubrey. Runs her finger through her auburn hair. Wonder where I fell into the left-handed folks being smart. See, okay, so Willow, you are definitely getting more comfortable doing the shows. When you began so many months ago, there was a tremor in your voice that's almost totally gone now. Thank you for the compliment, Dan. I appreciate you. Well, here's the thing. Like, I will always be nervous doing these shows. But I'm learning as I go along how to control my little impulses of nervousness. And it also helps when I have a good group of friends who are fans. And you guys support me 100%, and I appreciate you guys so much. Oh, let's see. What's the next monster? Vovkula. Oh, wow. Vovkulaka. Werewolf. What does he look like? Well, Vovkulaka is a man who is able to turn himself into a wolf. In his human image, he has a gloomy look, big eyebrows that have grown onto the bridge of his nose, so a unibrow, and red eyes, by which one can recognize him. When Volkalak changes into new form, it looks more like an animal than a person, but it's like that it will keep many of its unique traits, like personality, intelligence, and wisdom. Where does he live? There are at least two kinds of this creature: those born with the ability to transform, and those who have been cursed. The cursed ones who are forced to live in a wolf's body usually stay in the forest, whereas the natural born ones live among ordinary people. What does he do? Volkalak turns into a wolf at night and does harm to animals. Usually he doesn't touch people. There are legends about powerful warriors who fought their enemies while being turned into wolves. In popular culture, despite being a character of folklore, Volkulaka is on the emblem of the Ukrainian Special Operations Forces. Okay, and I will definitely show that picture if I can. So the image is, yeah, obviously a wolf, but it kind of looks like he has something around his, like a belt or chain around his abdomen. And I will try to get a better picture of that emblem. One moment, please. Okay, so yeah, I will try to find an image like that, but I just don't want to take up too much time on the show doing so. Donna says, we only support the best. Thank you. I appreciate you guys so much. You guys are awesome. Anywho. Oh, here's a cool monster. Up here, vampire. What does she look like? Or what does he look like? And up here can be recognized by a red face or having a little hair on his head. Those who were physically different in a community were potential up here candidates. Redheads, the left-handed, those with limp unibrow, etc. Boy, they really like to pick on the redheads and the left-handed people, don't they? Upir is dead and lives in the cemetery. What does he do? He comes up at night, sometimes during the day, and does harm to people in order to drink their blood. Upir is often a leader of a female group of witches. What works against him? It was believed that one could get rid of Upir by burning him in his coffin. Another variant is to ram an aspen stake into his heart and put silver on his forehead. Boy, these myths definitely kind of get translated into different areas of Europe, don't they? However, it might be challenging since Upir has two hearts. He's a Time Lord. So it's recommended that you bring friends for this job. Okay. Upiri are popular characters in Ukrainian folklore and literature. They are similar to Western European vampires. Okay, so Vadyanyuk. I apologize if I say these words wrong. So any Ukrainian that is reading it, that is watching this later, uh, I apologize for butchering your language. Vadyanek, Vadyani. Vadyanyuk was represented as a naked, chubby old man with a fishtail. He is tangled in ooze, has a long, thick beard, and a green mustache. He could turn into a catfish, a goat, a dog, a cat, etc. Where does he live? He lives in the water, in rivers, lakes, ponds. Also likes to settle under a water mill. Vadyanek might live in the eddies. What does he do? Vadyanek herds of catfish, carp, bream, and other fish that graze on the bottom of rivers and lakes. He commands mermaids and other water inhabitants. This waterman could flood rivers, break dams and water mills, drown livestock and people, capsize boats, and extinguish fires lit on the banks. The time after sunset on Ivan Kupala, when the spirit could drag people underwater, was considered especially dangerous. In addition, his victims were drunkards. To appease him, people sacrificed goats, roosters, honey, bread, and other goods by throwing them into the water. Wow. All right. All right. Eli says, think Powerwolf did a song based on that werewolf. Chris says, were most of these cursed gypsies? I wonder about that. Don says, after 40 plus years, I like to know there are people that are scared of me based on which hand I write with. I think that whole fear of people who write with their left hand is kind of gone out the window, but I don't know, maybe there's still that, that fear still left in some people. I don't know. The myth seems to overlap quite a bit too, or so it sounds. It says Dan. Yeah. I think it's funny because I feel like Europe definitely shares a lot of similarities with their myths and cryptids. Chris says, simple Dawn, small minds can't get past small things. Donna says, I wouldn't be surprised, Chris, and the gypsies encouraged it. I'm fairly certain that, there's, I know we probably, I know gypsies is kind of one of those no words, but please correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like there are people that that do still use the term gypsies, but yeah, no, I'm trying to. I know that gypsies is a derogatory term, so I apologize. I don't mean to be using the term gypsies in any derogatory way. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I'll try to get the photos of the creatures that I'm talking about in just a sec. I tried to upload as many of the photos as possible before the show. They get a bad reputation, but don't believe they deserve it. But I don't believe they deserve it. Thank you very much for the clarification, Chris. Johnny says, my grandmother was the daughter of Russian gypsies. That's interesting. Like I know that they exist outside of they exist all over the world, which is, they travel and they make families. Um, I think the anti-left-handed thing goes back to Latin as a language, says Dan. Sinister for left, for example, or it could go back further to times before toilet paper. See, and I know in a lot of our history as well here in Canada, the nun, or even in the U.S., Catholics, nuns would actually punish children if they wrote with their left hand. So yeah, that still exists. That existed up until what I'm gonna have to say up until like 50 years ago, maybe even recent. They certainly encouraged the idea that they dealt with spiritual things, says Donna. All right, so poverty is also a Slavic monster. Oh, sorry, Zladini, known as poverty. What do they look like? Zladini are portrayed as short old men dressed in rags or small and nasty creatures that remind one of the cats and dogs at the same time. At the same time, they often wear big boots and hats with ear flaps. They often live under the masonry stove. What do? If they start to live in someone's house, the owners quickly become poor and cannot earn money. Zladini makes a mess in the house and damages everything in it. So just kind of picture like really creepy cats, like almost like, or in this case, in this picture, kind of, they do resemble cats, but they also have like a goblin or more like a goblin-ish look to them. Zladini makes a mess in the house and damages everything in it. What works against them, the way to get rid of a Zladini is to lower them into a bottle, snuff box, tub, bag, etc. Close it and throw it away or bury it. Then the owner will get rich quickly if someone else releases the spirits. They will stick to him and settle in his house. You're just passing off your problem to another person. Zladini are the popular characters in children's fairy tales and cartoons where kids are taught to be neat and frugal. Neat and frugal. Okay, I don't know if that trait in me was ever taught. I just am very frugal. I mean, that is a common trait with most Ukrainians. All right, so there is a monster called Lizovic, forest man. What does he look like? Lizovic is a bearded old man, often dressed in animal skins or red clothes. His left part of the garment covers the right, and the left shoe is worn on the right foot. Okay. Kind of like a forest wizard. His eyes are green and burning. Lizovic might change his height. He can be taller than trees and shorter than grass. He can also appear in the form of a wolf, an owl, or the wind. He obviously lives in the forest. Lizovic guards the forest and can scare people with his laughter, sometimes lead visitors astray, and take away children. He is considered the patron of wolves and small animals who graze hares and deer, and bears serve as his guards. He walks through the forest in the summer and sleeps in the ground in the winter. What should one do to appease him? Slavic folklore says that you can make Lizovic happy by leaving him a treat. It was believed that Lizovic dislikes those who curse at his belongings, rest on the trail, or enter the forest on the wrong days. Creepy. So you don't want to cross him. All right. Donna commented, they certainly encouraged the idea that they dealt with the spiritual things. Yeah. Johnny says, my father was left-handed and had it beat out of him by the nuns in Catholic school. See, yeah, that was very common. Ambidextrous. He was ambidextrous the rest of his life. Donna says, my brother's teacher tried to make him write with his right hand instead of his left hand. Mom told her to let him be, and that was in the late 1950s. I couldn't imagine having to live through that. I got my left hand ruler slapped myself. Now I'm weakly ambidextrous, or as I like to term it, neither-handed. A lot of these creatures do sound like different other creatures that we've talked about in previous episodes. Yeah, those obnoxious creatures are pretty much teenagers. And Lizovic sounds like the Green Man's evil twin. So yeah, there's a lot of these creatures. I found the person's page, the one that did the painting of the witch. So the person who did that, I found their page, Saatchi Art, Saatchi Art, the Vidma Witch. That is very pretty. I might have to, $211 for the painting. That's worth it. I was trying to think, can I afford that? I probably could, but not right now. Isn't it, Dio? I love that. I think that whoever does buy that painting should let me know if here, I'll actually. I'll post it in the chat so that you guys go ahead and look that, check it out, check out their page. And you know what, I would hope so. I'm wondering if there are prints available. Mind you, I am Canadian, so it might be cheaper in the US. So yeah, it might be a lot cheaper in the US than it is for me, because I think that's taken into account shipping and everything. So I hope you guys are having a good Slavic holiday, and I hope this year brings a lot of joy for you guys, because last year was a little hard on some of us. I wasn't intending on losing 2 pets in 1 year, which, we got my cat Mittens, we got his ashes the other day. I haven't taken a look at the ashes or the little vial of fur that we got right now, because the last thing I want is to like bawl. But Mittens, sadly, we really didn't get a chance to let him say goodbye to his siblings. We brought him in because he wasn't looking very well. We wanted to make sure that it like if his heart was okay. And then the vet recommended that we put him down. So yeah, I hate losing animals. I hate. He was my baby. He was 14 years old. And then losing Simba, who was also my baby, but having him for 19 years, yeah, it's hard. And animals are like our best friends. They become our emotional support, and make us feel better at the end of a tough day. So sadly, going into the new year without my two babies, it's gonna be hard not not having them around. But I do still have five cats to take care of and love, and so I'm lucky in that in that aspect. So I hope that I will be able to share more fun videos of my cats with you guys this year. I'm definitely gonna try to do more TikTok videos with them, and share with you guys just a little bit of more joy this year, rather than boring stuff. DL said that she'll look for me for that print. Carl, thank you very much for the hugs. DL says, so sorry for baby loss. I thank you. I appreciate you guys. Chris says, sorry. Guys, I love you guys. Don says, I am sorry for your loss. It's never easy losing a friend, family member, caregiver, and all. And it's weird because the holidays is definitely a hard time to lose family. And several years ago, I lost my grandmother around Christmas, and it took me years to even get over that. But I'm hoping, knock on wood, that this year brings a lot more joy and happiness. And I hope that we'll be able to share in a lot more fun things this year. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys want. I'm having all these mumbled words in my head. I'm hoping to bring a lot more fun to the show, and I'm gonna try bringing Keisha back. I know she wants to return as well, so yeah. So this is Cryptid Crunch, guys. Kind of a tongue-in-cheek look into myths, monsters, and legends. I hope you guys had a good time. I'm looking forward to the next episode, and thank you for celebrating the 50th. Keep wanting to say anniversary, 50th episode of Cryptid Crunch, and looking for more. Let's get to 100. Okay. You guys have a great night. You guys can find me all over social media. Just look me up on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. I'm also on TikTok and Instagram. So I appreciate you guys being here, and we'll see you hopefully in a couple of weeks.